I don't even have a transition for that. But you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna transfer to the portal because I don't have a transition for any of that whatsoever. And we're gonna talk about what you said earlier. And should UNC target QBs in the portal?
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
not gonna lie, this segment right here made me sad when I read it, when I saw what you put in. You wanna know why? I did not know until today that Bryce Baker had entered the portal.
I didn't either.
I
Actually, I
have
knew
been
yesterday.
I have been the biggest proponent of Bryce Baker on this channel since last year, since we got Bryce. And Bryce Baker, you want to leave me like yesterday's exposed steak? Not even a steak, bro. A steak gets more love than this. You want to leave me like I am a 2 o'clock drunk text. Only call when you are 14 people deep in the roster in the U up roster. You want to leave me like that? You want to leave me like that, bro? I have been rooting for you to take over. And you're gonna enter the portal. Man, I'm hurt. I'm hurt, dog.
I mean, but we talked about that possibility of this happening, though.
Yeah, I didn't want it to be true.
I mean, neither one of us wanted it to be true.
I didn't
we
want
were
it to be
all
true.
hoping that Bryce was
Like,
going to get his shot for real.
Just because you tell me his name is Darren, don't mean he belonged to Darren. Don't mean I want that to happen. Like, what are we talking about here?
Like, because we both really wished that he came back and competed for that starting spot. Because I believe he would have got it. I believe he would have won it.
I genuinely think Bryce would have.
Because just like I pointed out, the biggest question mark for Travis Burgess is he going to be ready after his ACL tear? Like, is he going to be football ready by the end of spring to take over starting reps if he's good enough to even be in practice by that time? Then, you know, with Max Johnson and Bryce transferring out, both of your quarterbacks, like your quarterback room is down to 2 people or 2 like legitimate on the roster. There's probably about 4 or 5 other guys on the roster.
Well, if you're not counting Burgess, then yeah, 2, Gio and Newkirk.
So yeah, so it's like what are you gonna do?
So what are the options? What are the options we talking about if we're looking at a QB?
Because right now on the roster, now that Bryce Baker and Max. So the options in the portal. Well, let me go through what we got on the roster first, because that'll show you kind of how short we are. So with Bryce and Max gone, that's Gio Lopez, DJ Mazzoni, Andrew Miyares Jr., and Atori Newkirk. And then with the potential talent that we can bring in, first person that I think it was Sports Illustrated. First thing that Sports Illustrated thinks could be a potential target is Aiden Childs from Michigan State. Played in 5 games this past season, threw for 1,392 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Rushed for 81 rushes for 227 and 6 TDs. Ranked the number 7 quarterback in the portal. So top 10 quarterback, currently ranked in the portal. With the belief on this one, looking at his numbers, he can be a pretty proficient passer. Like, he's done pretty well for himself. I didn't really get I missed out on his completion percentage. But and the reason why, like, I just didn't look at it because, one, like, you played 5 games. So, like, nothing against him. It's just like I'd rather just see like a full 12 game
63.1.
So yeah, with a 68.6 QBR rating.
Actually, it's QBR rating.
QBR rating.
Yeah, his passer rating, crazy enough, was a 134.
Yeah, and then coming down to it with his last 2 seasons, because he transferred in from
Oregon State.
Yeah, Oregon State. Did pretty well in Oregon State. Played 12 games last year. Threw for 2,400 yards. ran for 225 last year. But he went 13 and 11. So he improved a pretty good bit from last season. Because he had a 59.4 completion percentage, 13 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, threw for 2,400 yards. So compared to what he had going on last year, he has improved just based off of these 5 games.
I think he could be. I think he'd be decent. He's one of those I didn't watch.
Correction, based off of 8 games. So he played 8 games this season.
He played 8?
Yep, he played in 8 games this season.
Well, I'd say his touchdown to interception ratio was a lot better, 10-3.
Oh, much better.
Now, I will say the way he was going, he took 30 sacks last year, and he had 21 in the 8 games he played. He may have ended up getting sacked more this year, potentially.
He probably would have ended up that way because based off of just looking at numbers, he holds the ball for way too long. Or same situation that we might have had. We just don't have a great group of receivers right off the jump. So you never know. They got better as the year went on, but you never know. Second option is Caden Hauser from East Carolina. We have seen Caden Hauser.
Man, listen. That boy nice. Say what you want, that boy nice.
Caden Hauser has a rifle for an arm. Because over the last,
I don't think he's leaving
college career.
Unless he,
I don't think he's leaving. Well, no, he's in the portal, but I don't know if he's going to come to us.
If he's leaving, he's going to go to a Power 5 school, a Power 4 school, but he's going to go somewhere where he can be the starter to help improve his draft stock.
And to be honest, I mean, if he comes to UNC, there's a very good chance he'll be the starter. Because in his career, he's thrown for a little over 6,400 yards, 43 TDs, 22 interceptions in his college career. This past year, threw for 3,300 yards, 19 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 85 rushes for 181 yards, and 9 touchdowns. And he's been the starter at ECU for the last 2 seasons. And he's rated as the number 10 quarterback in the portal. And he actually transferred in from Michigan State.
Man.
So he was actually there when Aiden Childs transferred in from Oregon State. Either that or he had just left. And then last but not least on the list is Jaden Davis, sophomore out of Michigan. Kid has no stats other than -6 yards rushing and 1 interception.
I'm sorry. That was just bad. He's like, got no stats except -6 yards rushing and 1 interception. It's like, dang.
Well, he only appeared in like 1 game.
Fair.
So and it's like I think it was garbage time too. So what they're believing is with Davis is that if they bring Davis in, they believe Davis could be a legit competitor for the starting job against Gio. But he has 1 game where he threw 2 passes, and one of them just so happened to be an interception.
I'm gonna be honest with you,
and that was against USC where they lost 31-13. So
if Caden Hauser comes from ECU to Carolina, as of right now, he definitely taking the job because, bro, he only had 1 game where he threw for under 200 yards. Actually, he only had 1 game where he threw for under 224 yards. Just 1.
Oh yeah, he a gunslinger for sure. No doubt about it.
I'm just saying, like, with the struggles that we had offensively last year and how like Gio hitting 200 on a day was like
was exciting.
Like Gio hitting 200 on a day was exciting, bro. Yeah, Caden would be one of them ones for sure.
Because I would love it. I would love to see it get to a point where a quarterback throwing 200 yards for us is boring.
Right.
I want it to be to where it gets to like, okay, he just does this on a regular schmegular everyday day. This is what he does. And Caden Hauser is definitely that guy. Did it at 65.9, did it at 66% completion percentage, had a passing rating of 146.3. QB rating was like 64.1. had a plus 13 TD to interception ratio.
Not the plus 30.
And I think he might. I don't know if he will or not, but there's a good chance he probably won't be playing in the bowl game against Pitt on the 27th. But
he might. And speaking of bowling,